Hi, it's Matt Bauer from Bauer Tree Equipment. I'm working on a Vermeer SC802 stump grinder, and it has a, let's see, the grinder is a 2013. It's got a Deutz engine, and that engine is a 2011. That's the model number. All right, 73 horsepower Deutz. It's an oil-cooled engine. The computer is showing that the oil pressure is on the low side, but it isn't triggering the oil warning light. So I needed to plug a mechanical pressure gauge into it, and that's where I ran into a little bit of trouble, because the port there on the left is an 18 millimeter plug. That's where you're supposed to plug into it. The thing is, that's on the business end of the oil jacket that plugs into the oil cooler, which is actually up here. This is a radiator, right here. Okay, and that has to get pretty hot before it starts circulating oil. I looked up the stats on this thing. This actually runs at 230 degrees. That is a running temperature. So you're not going to get any oil pressure at that port until it opens up. The one on the right, I believe, is an oil pressure, either a switch or a sender. It's definitely plugged into the oil warning light, because you unplug it, it goes on, but it doesn't kill the engine. So maybe it isn't a switch, or maybe it is a switch and it simply isn't working. Anyway, what's suspect is that that thing is what is sending a false reading to the computer. So anyway, problem is that's really actually kind of hard to get to. Not impossible, but kind of hard. I think that's an 18 millimeter port as well. Those are both 18 millimeter ports. If you go around to this side, there are more great big ports on it right there. Those are even bigger. Those go to, God, what is that? An auxiliary oil filter, maybe. That right there is your primary oil filter. There's also your thermostats in there that opens and closes for the cooler, the radiator. Anyway, so you could like try to plug into that with even a bigger plug, but anything over 14 millimeters is just hard to come by when it comes to adapters for oil pressure gauges or anything really. Deutz is kind of the only one, I think, that runs that kind of big hardware. Now, over here on the driver's side, you've got those two plugs. The one on the left is a 12 millimeter. The one on the right, I don't know, because I didn't unplug it. But I was able to plug on into the one on the left, and it does have pressure there. I did get a reading, not a great reading, 32 pounds cold at an idle. It should be, well, no, that actually wasn't bad. The minimum is 20 pounds. So anyway, that got me my reading. Now the reason I'm making this video is because I've been dealing with these engines for a couple of decades now, and every time I need to plug a mechanical pressure gauge onto it, check the oil, I run into these problems. Pretty nice unit. And the problem being that it you can't find an 18 millimeter adapter, so you kind of have to make one. And I was never sure what those plugs were. None of the manuals mention them. None of them say plug in here. So anyway, I plugged into it. It worked. I got oil pressure there. If you wanted to put a mechanical gauge on this thing, I would put it on this side where you have plenty of room, and just don't even bother with that other side. I honestly don't know why they insist on using those big plugs. Any oil sender you get for this machine isn't going to have an 18 millimeter. It's going to be 12, 10, you know, maybe 14, but yeah, so no matter what, you have to wind up adapting something for that anyway. But you go around to this side and it's fine. So anyway, I just want to make a note of that, let you guys know that's how to do it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.